drums, my first love, my longest art form. They allowed me to tour the world and have unforgettable experiences. I got to play in films and on TV, and right up until early 2017, I was still headlining big shows. In recent years, I started working more as an actor as well. I guess you can say it all began when Matthew McConaughey gave me my first film role, and that was followed by a string of national commercials. My wife, Mary Lou, and I opened a production studio, and we produced our own short film called Welcome to Where You've Always Been, and launched a festival tour in early 2016. I was the writer, director, actor. Mary Lou was the producer, co-director, and cinematographer. We were wrapping up an award-winning 21 festival tour in early 2017. And at the same exact time, I was also doing the Gold's Gym 12-week fitness challenge and playing in a flag football league. I was literally feeling better, faster, and stronger than I had in years. I was about to take my life and career to the next level, and I was literally declaring, I am ready. I am ready. I am ready! And then I got cancer. Well, all these great things were going on in my life. I also had an aggressive tumor growing right here into my chest, and I had no idea. It was 14 centimeters long. It was growing into my heart, lungs, and major veins as well. I got my diagnosis on May 4th. Was living in the hospital within days doing round-the-clock chemo, and I would later need a full open chest surgery. Everything happened so fast, it was confusing and disorienting. I already felt like a lab rat from all the testing, and I was starting this insane treatment. But I knew that I had to go deep within and make some really important decisions and realizations. I didn't choose to get cancer, but I took responsibility for it. Does not mean I was to blame for it, all right? I took responsibility for the situation I was put in and for my choices. You know, after I got my diagnosis, I certainly had a choice of how I was gonna react. That decision, I chose to embrace my cancer. I could have easily chosen to be the victim, a role I certainly was no stranger to. But at this defining moment, I chose to be the victor. I chose to love and embrace and free my cancer, not hate it or fight it. I mean, people immediately started saying, Justin, kick its ass, man. Go to war with it, fuck cancer. Man, that just didn't resonate with me. I don't think violence is really the answer to anything, and when was the last time anyone won in a war? Look, in my chest here was a growing collection of cells, just in the wrong place and wrong time. Despite lying dormant since birth, they were way behind schedule, okay? They only knew to do their job. Like anything else, they just wanted to survive. I couldn't portray hatred or negative energy to something that was part of me, you know, that was inside of me. So I chose to embrace my situation. I gave gratitude to my tumor. I literally told it I loved it, called it my mentor and the greatest gift I'd ever received. I adopted a phrase early on I called embrace cancer, love cancer, free cancer, and that became my motto. Now, during my cancer journey, I wrote several poems, and I want to do a quick one here for you right now. It goes a little something like this. I spoke to my tumor. You know what I said? Yo, you gotta go or I'm gonna be dead. But Justin, we're sorry we started so late. We're in the wrong place and we really missed the date. Everything around us was happening so fast, and now we've become one giant big piece of mass. We're sorry for the trouble and pain left behind. We never meant to hurt you or get you in this tough bind. Is there a way that you can maybe forgive? We don't think it's possible for us both to still live. I said then to my tumor, now you just listen up. I have some chemo tea and I will fix you up a cup. It's true that both together there is no way we'll survive. If you let go without a show, I could still be alive. You've been my teacher, my mentor, the guru I seek. I appreciate and honor you every day of the week. You can let go now, your job here is done. I've learned so very much, man, we've had a good run. I know I've grown a lot and I will keep growing more. In order for that to happen, you gotta hit the door. I embrace you, I love you, and now you are free. I will survive our cancer journey. So during my journey, I was blessed with so many things. I'd never spent a night in the hospital before, and I was blown away by the amazing individuals that work in these places, especially my nurses. They will forever have a special place in my heart. I was also blessed by the healing support and modalities that came from places like WeSpark. And I was absolutely overwhelmed by the amount of love and support that came from friends, family, and spiritual communities, especially the love and care that came from my parents, and a big love and care to my wife and caregiver, Mary Lou. Thank you, baby, I love you. So, despite my positive attitude, my incredible support system, and my embrace love free motto, do you think my journey was easy? No, it was not. 45 nights in hospitals, 60 bags of chemo, 5 surgeries, lost all my hair, saw my body change, got scarred all the fuck up. There were some moments as well that I really didn't know if I wanted to live. There was other moments where I thought, why are we even bothering trying to save me? Am I worth it? This was all part of my journey though. Right? It was facing myself, my mortality, at the truest and rawest level. It was seeing myself pale, bald, skinny, looking like I had lost a sword fight. It was realizing that with every obstacle and challenge that I had to face was an even bigger opportunity to grow, to help myself and to help others. But that would mean I'd have to go even deeper and face even bigger fears and struggles. I was willing to do that, no matter how challenging it would be. I started to look within and at my past and realized how many emotions I repressed as a child and that I had closed my heart down many years ago. I wasn't surprised that a tumor grew into it. This was taking responsibility at a whole new level. Again, not taking the blame, but seeing how I may have contributed to it in some way. And once I realized that, I saw that I had a chance to heal even more. And this was really embracing on the deepest of levels. I also found it interesting that despite when they told me last year, at the end of the year, I was done with my journey. I didn't feel right emotionally. And I'm not surprised then that I ended up in December needing 2 heart surgeries. The first one was an emergency as my heart was collapsing under a liter of fluid. The second came a week later as they had to cut out a hole about that big. They call it a pericardial window on the bottom of my heart sac so that it could drain out. They were also concerned there was more cancer on the heart. But the good news is that I now have a permanent open heart. So recovery hasn't been easy. It's been quite challenging to be honest with you guys. But in recent days, literally recent days, I'm starting to get my groove back. Last month I had all of my CAT scans and blood work, and everything did come up cancer-free.
All right.
Before cancer, I declared I was ready. I finally know what that means. Now, I surrender. I surrender to the present moment. I surrender to spirit and to all of life's magic. I'm open to the adventure that awaits. And now, I'm turning my story into a book, a one-man stage show. Mary Lou and I are getting ready to shoot 2 feature-length documentary films. And as Belinda said, that little film I mentioned earlier, as of this week, it's now available on Amazon Prime. So I'm grateful for my journey. By embracing and loving my situation, I gave myself the best chance to survive while setting myself up with the best chance to grow. This newfound peace is actually how I learned to free my cancer, and with it my old stuck energy. As I keep growing more and more alive each day, I realize that by completing this journey, I truly have been reborn. I've also realized that I don't necessarily need an illness to have a life-changing experience. I face obstacles every day of all different shapes and sizes. You know, with each obstacle is a decision as to how I will face it. With each one is an opportunity to grow. Every time I grow, no matter how big or small, it's a spiritual awakening. And that in itself is a rebirth. If it were up to me, just wait and see. Embrace love and free is the only way to be. If it were up to me, just wait and see. Embrace love and free is the only way to be. I said embrace, love, free, everybody now. Embrace, there you go. Love, free, a little bit louder. Embrace, love, free, one more time. Embrace, love,